Hey, bye, it's me. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who. And we're in the Colin Baker era. So this is Attack of the Cybermen from 1985. Previously, we'd had the Twin Dilemma. And the next one will be Vengeance on Varos. Now, this is season 22, and it is the first story, even though it's not Colin Baker's debut, which was in the Twin Dilemma, which they transmitted at the end of season 21. Now, this is now in a changed format as well. We've got 2 episodes, and they're 45 minutes each. And they were transmitted on the 5th of January and the 12th of January 1985. It also returned to Saturday, which is where Doctor Who should always be. It's written by one of those pseudo names that they put down, and it's down as Paula Moore. And this is really Eric Sayward and Ian Levine collaborating together on this story. There's a bit of controversy about it, but that's what they did. It wasn't seen that the script editor should be involved in writing stories, but of course, he did. He had to. Now, it's directed by Matthew Robinson, who had directed Resurrection of the Daleks in 1984, and that was the only other one, so he just directed 2 for Doctor Who. So as I've said, the script editor is Eric Sayward, and the producer is, of course, Jonathan Nathan Turner. And the music is by Malcolm Clark. Let's get into the cast. We've got Colin Baker, who plays the 6th Doctor. We've got Nicola Bryant playing Perry Brown. We've got Maurice Colburn, who plays Lytton. Now, this is the return of this mercenary character who was in, of course, Resurrection of the Daleks, which is an absolutely superb story. He does have some film credits, and some of those are The Duelists, 1977, Bloodline, 1979, and Venom. Oh, yeah, Venom, brilliant film, 1981. Sadly, he died in 1989. He was only aged 49 as well. Then we've got an actor who I just think he's brilliant. Brian Glover, who plays Griffiths. Great Yorkshireman he was from Barnsley. Absolutely brilliant. Of course, he's remembered for Kes, 1969. What a brilliant film that is. And of course he's in that. He was in Oh Lucky Man, 1973. He was in Sweeney, 1976. He was in Jabberwocky, 1977. He was in, now most famously, I think, An American Werewolf in London, 1981. What a film, classic film. And he's in that, of course. He was in Britannia Hospital, again, a British film that pops up such a lot, 1982. And he's in a film that I absolutely love, and not everybody's cup of tea, but I love it. It's The Company of Wolves, 1984. And of course, another film I love him, but he hasn't got the Yorkshire accent in it, which he should have, but he hasn't. Alien 3, 1991. I do enjoy Alien 3 a lot. It's had some bad press in the past, but I think it's a great film, Alien 3. Totally underrated. Um, and his last film was Up and Under from 1998. And as I say, he sadly died far too young. Um, and then we've got Terry Malloy, who plays Russell. Terry Malloy, of course, played Davros in Resurrection of the Daleks 1984, Revelation of the Daleks 1985, and Remembrance of the Daleks 1988. So he is massive contribution to Doctor Who. Absolutely fantastic playing Davros. But yeah, he's in a different role. Yeah. He was in some feature films. Truly, Madly, Deeply, 1990. In Love with Alma Coggan, 2011. And Passport to Oblivion in 2019. And then we've got Sarah Green. I have to mention her. She was playing Vaughn. It's not a big role, but at the time, Sarah Green, well known in TV, Blue Peter presenter, Saturday Superstore, and Going Live presenter. She was a big TV presenter, that children's TV, I suppose you could say. Very well liked. And here she is in Doctor Who. That's a continued tradition of getting people wanting to do Doctor Who. Of course, John Nathan Turner encouraged this. He wanted these kind of people in Doctor Who. Yes. So that is that. But I always say, let's look at the locations because some of them are familiar. We have got Acton and in Hammersmith. But of course, the place that we always see is Gerrard's Cross Sand and Gravel Quarry. You've got to have a Doctor Who story with the quarry in it, and there it is again at Gerrard's Cross Sand. Oh yeah, brilliant. And also we've got Cameron Scrap Merchant, which was on 36 Birkbeck Road, London W3. That adds a bit more to it, the story. I always love to see the locations. You can't beat it, can you? Always makes a story look even better. And they do look great. So, after all that, what is this about? Well, it's set in London in 1985. And the planet tells us in the future, so we see two locations when we're watching the story. And the Cybermen intend to change the course of history. How many times have we heard that in Doctor Who? By destroying Earth with Halley's Comet. Halley's Comet was big news around that time when this story came out. And I love the way they've linked that in. And this would prevent the destruction of their original own planet of Mondos. Ah, those ghastly Cybermen. Look what they're up to. Now, it's interesting when you look at the Cybermen, of course, here. They are not the Mondo Cybermen. They're the more newer one. And each time the Cybermen appeared in a story in Doctor Who in this sort of era, they kept updating the Cybermen. And again, there's more updates. I do like the Cybermen here. I like both, actually. I do like the Mondo ones are different, but I like these as well. excellent. Though they do start to talk a lot amongst themselves, which is always quite funny sometimes. So that's the story. Doctor and Perry, as usual, land in this situation, soon get involved in it, and again, the relationship with the Doctor and Perry is interesting. Um, and as a viewer, you're trying to warm to him a bit more. And I think they've done that now with the relationship. It's looking better. And I do like Perry a lot. She's a good character. And she is trying, in a way, you could say this, she's trying to bring the best out of this rather erratic character as she sees it. And we see bits of that, but it's still not what you called it, a totally warm relationship. But it's better. It's improving, which is what people like to see, I think. But don't forget, the Doctor, there's been deliberately a new take on the Doctor. And I've got to admit now, looking at this story, Colin Baker is doing really well at this. He's very good at that. But you can't keep playing the Doctor like that, and therefore he's had to put a bit more sort of warmer elements in there, but it's still not there. But that, again, it's always an interesting the way you see a Doctor Who character, the character evolve from what we see. And I think this particularly is important because Colin Baker has not had a good reputation, all because of the twin dilemmas, really. His start was not a good start. So you're looking to see an improvement. Generally speaking, though, this is a really good story. I think it's story full of excitement. One of the criticisms of it, though, they felt was that it was rather violent. Yes, we've had that before, haven't we? With going back to Mary Whitehouse in the Tom Baker era, or even before in the some of the John Pertwee stories. But I think that it reflects its time in many ways. I think this story, and I think works well. I think that the scene that they entered, the saying that is rather violent is that we see this scene where Lytton's hands being crushed by the Cybermen. That was felt that it was a bit strong, but I think we should not be too worried about that. I would have said that. You see, can far worse watching the news, and I think children are a lot more resilient and stronger. And we've had this debate a lot, and it's part of the scariness and seeing the violence as well. But say it came under, and again, it's giving those who want rid of Doctor Who more ammunition and saying, look, this is violent. And of course, in a way, it's leading to this hiatus and the return of the Doctor a bit later in the trial of the Time Lord story. The cancellation was very, very near, but it got a reprieve, thank heavens. This is it. This is one of those episodes. But I think when you look at it now, it's not really. You can see why it might have been controversial, but it is a great story. I think. And it is well thought. I think now when people assess it, they do look at this and think, yes, this is a good story for Colin Baker. I think we should look at his whole era with renewed renewed eyes. Put our glasses on and see it now as in today, and it's still enjoyable. It's very enjoyable. As a Doctor, you do want the Doctor to be likable, and of course, I think they're going to, you can see that they've realised that and have softened him up a bit, but it's going to take a lot for viewers to get to really love this. Normally by now, the people fall straight into the Doctor. They love them pretty quickly. He's got a struggle on his hand, and we'll see how they get on throughout this season. Let me say also that it was released on VHS in 2000. It was part of a Doctor Who Cybermen box set. And on DVD, it was released in 2009, and it got the Blu-ray release in 2021 in the Doctor Who collection season 22. So as usual, I'll show you what I've got here. So this is the DVD. There it is, and there's the back. Again, some nice extras on here. The documentary is pretty good, and then that's a nice disc. Look at that illustration there, and as always, there's this lovely leaflet that you get with it, which I really like. I say I really love the DVDs. I think they're great. I would never get rid of them. And then, of course, we've got this beautiful, I will show it, season 22 box set. Look at that. These are wonderful. They're a real treasure. One of my real treasures in my collection. And you get a lot more documentaries, a lot more insight on here into the story. Fantastic. Absolutely well worth having these. So that's it. Yes. That's my look at Attack of the Cybermen. Hope you've enjoyed it. So that's it. Yes. Now, if you're new to this channel, just come across it, well, why not subscribe? If you subscribe, you get notifications that when I produce videos, and also have a look at the playlist. You can see all the previous Doctor Who stories that I have reviewed, and there's quite a few now building up, but I do a lot more. I do a lot of film and TV show reviews, also a bit of music sometimes, yeah, have a look. Now, if you like this video, please give the video a like. If you give this video a like, it gets it out to YouTube so other people might enjoy it. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I'll always reply to your comments. I love reading your comments. That's it. Yes. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.